My name is Megan. I'm the creative person behind Little Fish Stitches, and I come to you from Aberdeen, Washington, where I live with my family, my husband Brian, my two sons James and Connor, and our doggie Bella, who's a pit bull slash hound of some sort mix, who's about 4 years old now, I think. Anyway, again, I'm coming to you from my bedroom, slightly different location in my bedroom. I'm actually sitting on my bed right now, partially because of something I'm going to show you in a little bit. But, yeah. Okay, so places you can find me. I'm on Instagram. That's where I would be most active, is Instagram. I'm on there as Little Fish Stitches, all one word, no dashes or anything. And then on Ravelry as Little Fish Stitches, minus the E in Stitches, because my name's too long. And then on Facebook, I do have a Facebook page for my little business of sorts, and it is Little Fish Stitches. I think you will find it if you search it on Facebook. So I'm not terribly active on there, though. Yeah, I'm kind of bad about Ravelry too. It's not something I excel at by any means. In fact, the sweater that I showed as an FO last week, I still need to update my project page for that, and I have the designer asking me to do so. Yeah, I need to take care of that. Hopefully today I can maybe snap a few pictures of myself in it without a hot pink t-shirt under it. Yeah, because that's the only picture I have of it right now. Is the minute I finished it, I popped it on, and I was wearing a hot pink t-shirt that day. Man, it looks goofy. So, sorry, I'm looking down at my notes here. Yes, so I don't have any knitting finished objects today, but I do have one sewing finished object. And I actually finished it this morning, just randomly because I felt like it. Today was the last day of school. It was so I had to be up at 6 because of my older son who needs to be up, and I need to make sure he gets up. So anyway, I had, I can't remember which birthday it was for my niece, who is an adult now. I made a quilt for her, and I had overestimated how many quilt pieces I needed. And so I ended up with one extra strip of this quilt. Well, I decided to use that strip today. I think I made it for her 16th birthday. Maybe 18th? I can't remember. Let's see, how old is her brother? He's 25, so she's 23 now. So it's been hanging around in my scrap bin for a while. But I like it, so I want to use it. So I did. And a project bag seemed like the perfect thing. So this is a one-of-a-kind project bag. This will not end up in my shop at all, because I will not do quilted. That would cost too much time for me and too much money for anybody who wanted to buy it. So, yeah, there's that. So anyway, let's see here. Can I get it into the picture? So I do have a project in here, because I needed a slightly bigger project bag for the sweater that I'm working on, my Ernest cardigan. That's what's in here right now. So I made white alternating with random rainbow colors that I had in my stash. And then I've got this handle made, it's hard to tell, but it's made with this gray and white chevron canvas type fabric. Drawstring opening. And then gray cotton lining. So it's stretch cotton. It's kind of cool. And then, of course, as always, my little label on my bag. And then, so since we're here, moving on to whips, since I'm done with my finished object, but yeah, pretty nice. I like it. And my sweater is growing, it seems like, frantically, almost. So, obviously, I mean, it doesn't... At this point, and of course, I was up at Black Sheep this morning, and I was sitting with the owner, Michelle, and knitting for a little bit on this, and I had to get up and leave in the middle of a row because I had to be home at a specific time in order to get Connor from school. So I'm literally like right in the middle. But I will show you how much progress I've made this week. Since I showed this on the last program, wow, I'm getting all official and stuff. My little seahorse stitch marker there. I've done about 1.5 inches. So this is 3 weeks progress from this one down to my knitting raw edge there. I'm feeling like I'm finally making some good progress on this thing after letting it sit for a couple months. So, yay! There's that. Alright, and I'm feeling kind of a crunch on time here because I'm actually going to meet one of my viewers for coffee in town at 3:30. So, yeah, I didn't realize I had any local viewers that I didn't know. So, and she got a hold of me on Instagram after last week's episode where I was talking about wanting a knitting community around me, and she's like, hello, I'm here. So, gonna go meet her in person at one of our local coffee shops and hopefully have a good time. Probably will have a good time. But anyway, so, second whip. Yes, over here. Okay, so like I mentioned last week many times, it was my son's birthday. And he is 8 years old now. And, little Connor. And what he wanted from me was a blanket. And I know I mentioned this, oops, my needles are hitting the tripod. He mentioned this last week, or he wants my blanket that's on my bed. So I'm gonna, well, first I'm gonna show you this. I have done the first cable section, and the next row that I work on will be a cable row. But I need to start the next color, which should be interesting, doing new color plus cable. But I'm just going till I run out of a skein of yarn. So this is how far I got this week working on this. It's this cable that it's on is 50 inches. And I'm pretty sure these are a 10. ChowGoo interchangeable. Yes, that. So the next color in line will be black, and then it will repeat from blue to dark gray to black. So that was his color choices. So yeah, there's that. So I made some decent headway on that to start with. And then my third whip is on Tuesday, spur of the moment. I wanted a small project to take with me, and I was not feeling the sock mojo. I had to go to Olympia with my boss this time, work-related stuff. And we had, basically it was a selling trip to various doctor's offices because we make hot and cold therapy wraps, and we want to be selling those to some doctors in order to have them either make it part of their care package for their patient or, you know, have them available in their office to buy or whatever. But anyway, that's what I was doing. But since I wasn't driving, I needed some car knitting. So I decided to go start a Find Your Fade shawl. So, yeah. So since Tuesday, let me pull it out here. I have made some pretty good progress on this thing. Yeah. It's kind of a wonky triangle right now, but there it is. So, I have a couple more rows left on the lace section right here, and then I will move into the next fade. So this first part is my Lolo Did It yarn that I showed on a couple episodes ago. I can't remember which one at this point. My Lolo Did It yarn. It's a Pretty Little Zombies colorway. And I really like how it worked up. I think it's so pretty. And then the next color is one of mine. This one is Blueberry Smash, and it's on my BFL Donegal tweed base. So it's like, yeah, 85% BFL, 15% nylon, which is the tweed part. So Yes, so I made some good progress on this, and it looks weird to me right now, all curvy outy, curvy outy like this, but yeah. Yes, so that's it for whips. I think the next thing I'll talk about is pod stocking, which I did not actually put in my notes because it was like a big rush and I need to finish. I keep my bedside clock is right there. I keep checking it like, what time is it? I have an hour till I need to be in town. So, yeah. Anyway, where was I at? Oh yeah, pod stocking. Okay. So I found a new to me podcast, although she's not super new, but she's not super. She doesn't have like a huge amount of episodes yet. I think she has 12 or 13 episodes. Wednesday, because Tuesday is when I went to Olympia. Wednesday, I had a horrible migraine. I ended up spending most of my day in bed. It unfortunately happens, but thankfully only happens every few months. So it's just something I deal with. I think it's sinus related, but I'm not 100% sure on that. I think I'm like seasonal allergy type thing. Anyway. Oh yeah. Man, my brain is like fried right now. So I spent my day in bed, which meant I needed something to watch, which meant I looked for knitting podcasts, and I was wanting to check out somebody new, and I found So Perfect Pearls, and this young lady, she's late 20s. She's in Georgia, and her name is Jade, and she's got a little boy, and she mentioned his birthday. Her son is one day older than my younger son. So I thought that was kind of funny. But anyway, I just, I watched her entire backlog of episodes. I really enjoyed it. So, yeah, go check out So Perfect Pearls. And pearls as in knitting. Pearls, not from the oyster pearls. Yeah. So if you like knitting podcasts, you probably do since you're watching mine. Yeah, go check her out. And she's on Instagram as So Perfect Pearls as well. So, yes. And actually it was her Find Your Fade shawl that drew me in because one of her episodes had that featured, and I'm like, yeah, I gotta watch it because I just started mine yesterday, Tuesday. So, that's the only one I really stalked this week. I've caught up on the Stranded podcast, which is Amy Edwards Green. Her names are kind of scattered as far as what she's called where, but yeah, she's on Instagram, I think, as Amy Florence. Yeah. Anyway, I like her. She's quirky, British chick. Does awesome yarn, and someday I'm going to buy some because it's cool, but it's a lot of shipping to get it from the UK to Washington State. Yeah. Oh man, I just realized I forgot to say thank you for watching my episode, my knitting podcast, whatever you want to call this thing that I do. Thank you for watching. And for those of you that are returning viewers, thank you for coming back and putting up with my goofiness and scatterbrainededness. And yeah, and if you're new, I'm sorry. Maybe you want to turn around and leave now, but no, don't. It's fun. I'm a goofball. Yeah. Anyway, okay, moving on. Thank you for being here. You're such a dork. Okay. And it doesn't help that I'm kind of in a rush. I'm actually doing this on a Friday because normally I would do it on Saturday, but tomorrow is a big day. Tomorrow is my 17th wedding anniversary. Yeah, I know. Do I look old enough to have been married for 17 years? Probably not. I got married when I was 20. So, yes. I think my final thing will be acquisitions. So, and I'm going to start with this one that is the earliest one from this week. I got another, I purchased another skein of yarn from my Instagram friend Emily, who is Misty Mountain Makers on Instagram. She has her little Etsy shop, and it's called Misty Mountain Makers. Shocking, huh? Anyway, this is her yarn label, and so the base that I got is her halfling base, which is 75% superwash Corriedale wool and 25% nylon. It's 4 ounces, 435 yards. Yeah, and I don't know if you can see that very well, but the base, or the name of the yarn, is Nargles. Nargles. If you're a Harry Potter fan, you know what that's from. I'm a Harry Potter fan. Not like crazy Harry Potter, but I like Harry Potter. I enjoy Harry Potter. I have read all the books and seen all the movies. In fact, we do a Harry Potter movie marathon at our house every 6 months or so. But anyway, this is the yarn, and it is caked up because it's going to go in my Find Your Fade shawl. And I was thinking it was my next color. It's hard to see. The light is not doing it very good. Let's see. Oh, that's better. Yes, that's better. It was a little too bright. But you see, it's mostly a white base, and then there's just a little limey green and pale blue and pink. I really like it. It's just, it's me. It's me yarn. So there's that, which I ordered last weekend. She had a sale in her shop, but I believe that's over now. So yeah, but I took advantage of it and got my little 15% off or whatever it was. Okay, and then of course there was the blanket yarn purchase, which I just went with. This is a 80% acrylic, 20% wool blend. It's the Big Twist brand from Joann Fabrics. So there's this gray one and this peacock blue, and then black. Yes, black. That's what he wanted. So this is the order it's going to be in on the blanket, the repeating order. So I have like a giant bag full of this stuff because it's going to take a lot. Oh, and the reason why I wanted to, well, I'll wait. I got to kind of clear off a spot before you can see what I wanted to show you, which is why I'm sitting on my bed, which I mentioned earlier. But okay, so today I went up to Olympia again, because I do that a lot, because Aberdeen doesn't have much to offer, especially as far as yarn goes. And I stopped in. First, I got my nails done. Birdie! They're hard to tell. They're like this red, purple that leans toward just the red family with gold glittery tips. But every 2 weeks I go get my nails done because, well, the reason why is I used to bite my cuticles horribly. I decided I was sick of that bad habit, so I got my nails done, and that has helped me kick the habit. So I keep doing my nails, besides the fact that I like having my nails done. So anyway, my nail place across the parking lot from my yarn place. It works out well. So I go get my nails done. I go get my yarn fix. You know. Okay, so first thing I'm going to show you, and this is probably not going to show up very well because it is so very dark, but I like it. You can almost, yeah, you can almost see the blue in this. This is a really, really dark blue. This is Malabrigo Arroyo in Prussia Blue. See if I can do that. Yes. And then this one is Malabrigo also. Rios this time in Cereza. I'm not sure I'm saying that right. This looks much brighter on the camera than it actually is in person. It's more blood red than it is bright orangey red that is showing on the screen here. But these two, I don't know what yet, and I hope my husband doesn't watch this podcast because these are going to be something for him, and they're probably going to be a surprise. I don't know what yet, but they got to go together. I don't know why, but they got to go together. So, there you go. And then, one of the colors that I decided needed to be in my Find Your Fade shawl is the same thing as my Ernest cardigan. So I had to go buy another skein of this, and it's the Malabrigo sock in the water green colorway. And then, this one is called Dye For Me Baby Llama Glow, and it's by Plymouth Yarn Company, and it's a natural color, as you can see. Here's the label. And this is 95% baby llama, 5% stellina. And oh my gosh. Oh my gosh, this is like the softest you've ever... Oh my gosh. It's super soft. And I may or may not dye this because sometimes I do just like natural yarn. So... yes. So, this is 125 grams, 273 yards. I don't, it doesn't really say what it is, but I'm thinking it's like DK weight, maybe? Yeah. Whatever it is, I like it in something... and it's probably going to be a cowl, something that can go around my face. Maybe, I don't think it's going to be a hat. Nope, I don't think so. It needs to be by my neck. And I'm undoing the hand care by messing around with it. Alright, so that's it for yarn acquisitions. There are other acquisitions, because I have a sewing project or 3 in mind. So, the first one is, I have been trying to find a new purse that fits exactly what I want. I used to make purses for myself all the time. I haven't done it in quite a few years just because I started finding things in the stores that I liked. Well, that seems to have ended. So, I am going to be making myself a purse. And, this is just quilting cotton, but I know how to stiffen it up and make it nice and workable for a purse. So this one will be the outer fabric, and this one will be the lining. And it will be a crossbody style bag, probably, most likely. Yes, it will. So that's what these are for. There's a yard here of each. I got those at Joann Fabrics. And then I have 2 nephews. One who is about to turn 6 and the other one's about to turn 7. So it's kind of funny because there's those 2 and my son all have birthdays within a month of each other. And this year they're going to be 6, 7, and 8. So anyway, but the 2 nephews, they are brothers and they're slightly under a year apart. One of them is a 4th of July baby. But anyway, their mother wants me to make them some book bags because they are going to be taking a road trip this year, and so she wants book bags for them. And the younger one wanted sharks, so he gets this super cute semi-realistic sharky fabric with this as a lining. And then the older one, he wants sports related, and he's really big into the Seahawks, so he gets this with this as a lining. So I got a half yard of the outer the outer fabrics and then a yard of this, and I'm going to make them a couple little book bags. So, yeah. That's acquisitions. That's all of them, I think. No. I posted it on Instagram. My new knitting ring came in, which is now living on my stitch marker necklace, which is the thing that I made last week, so I didn't have to, the kids are home from school, I can hear them out in the hallway, they were done with their video games. So anyway, here's my single loop yarn guide ring. Yeah. I actually like this better than my double loop one, so I've been using it. But I have my double loop one for backup. Yay! So that finally came in the mail, and a folded up taco box. It was funny. I'm like, you know what? Whatever works. It probably was cheaper shipping that way because it was a tiny little package. So, all right. What I want to show you, because the reason I am making a blanket for my son is my blanket that's on my bed. So let me move a couple more things out of the way here. I have yarn. Oh, here's my this is how much I have left after starting my Find Your Fade with my Lolo Did It yarn. So, I don't know what I'm going to do with it, but maybe a pair of socks or another shawl of some sort. Have multicolor shawl. Anyway, okay. Stop rambling, Megan. Okay. Alright, so Connor's blanket. Here we go. Let's see if I can do this without making a disaster. You see that? There's my blanket. And I have it sideways on my bed right now because I'm thinking about fixing it too. Because it's the same, I use the same type of yarn as I'm using for Connor's blanket in my blanket. And it's not quite long enough. I need to add like a foot more to the blanket to make it really comfortable to sleep under with the cables running this way instead of this way. Does that make sense? Anyway, I am almost done. I am almost at a half hour. My camera likes to shut off at half an hour in case you weren't aware of that. So, anyway, I am going to go have coffee with my hopefully new friend who watches my podcast. And, yeah, maybe there will be a little clip from there. Yes, so thank you for watching. Again, I'm found on Ravelry as Little Fish Stitches minus the E, Facebook as Little Fish Stitches, and Instagram as Little Fish Stitches. So come find me in those places. And of course on YouTube as Little Fish Stitches. Alright, so that's it. Have a good knitty week, and I will talk to you again soon. Bye. Hi again. Quick addendum to previous recorded podcast. In between that and right now, I went into town to a local coffee shop called Tinderbox Coffee, and met up with one of my podcast viewers. It was so fun. I had a really great time. So, just wanted to say thank you. You know who you are. I'll leave your privacy intact, though. Yes, it was fun. I had a great time. We sat for, let's see, what time is it now? I think we sat for an hour and a half and knitted, almost an hour and a half, and knitted. And then we walked around the corner from where we were. There's a quilt shop, and this young lady had mentioned she had seen some yarn there at one point, and so we went and checked it out, and they did have a little bit of yarn. It was actually the yarn from the lady that I talked about having the trunk show up in Olympia. So she's making her presence known, apparently. And there wasn't a huge selection or anything. There was a little bit of a, what do you call that? Fiber. The stuff that's not yarn, but is going to be yarn. I don't spin, obviously. But anyway, so we went there and looked around and we had a good time and we're going to do it again. So I'm excited and yay, I have a new yarny friend. Yeah. All right. Next thing, I forgot to talk about my experience at the Fiber Guild meeting that I talked about going to. And I did mention, I think that earlier, that I had a headache on the day that I went. So normally what they do is they meet from 10 o'clock in the morning until 2 o'clock in the afternoon. So that's 4 solid hours. I was dealing with a migraine, not just a normal headache, but a migraine that day. It had started out as a regular headache, and I had, sorry, kids are being noisy in the hallway. I had taken some medicine for it, but it did not kick in, and so I had to leave early. So I stayed for about 2 hours of the 4. So, yeah. But in the meantime, okay, so there were, I'm trying to think, there were probably about 15, 20 people there, and a good chunk of those were people doing spinning, which was cool to watch. I've not ever actually seen it in person. I've seen videos, of course, but not in person. So I got to see a little bit of that happening. And Valerie, who is the lady that I met at Black Sheep, that I mentioned on my podcast last week, she was there. So yay, I knew one person. And but everybody else seemed to be friendly. They did kind of a show and tell session. People showed off either yarn that they had spun or an item that was finished, or, typical things we do like on a podcast, except it was a big group and everybody was showing, look what I did. And so that was pretty cool. It was fun to see everybody's projects, and they kind of passed them around. The chairs were set up in a big circle. Passed them around, and then right about the time I left was, I guess they do a potluck lunch. I didn't realize that. I had just packed my own individual lunch, which I kind of felt a little awkward about, but considering the food plan that I'm on, it was probably a good idea. So I did that. I didn't stay for lunch. I actually ate my lunch in the car on the way home because I was getting to the point where light was hurting my eyes and starting to get a tad bit nauseous. So those type of migraines don't happen to me very often. I'm very glad for that. And part of that is the food plan that I am on, because I stopped drinking diet soda. I haven't had a soda except for like twice, I think, in the past 6 months, almost 6 months, since January when I started on this plan. But anyway, yeah, so no more diet soda. That's a good thing, because apparently it gives me migraines. Not the one I had the other day, but I had a soda, I don't know, 3 weeks ago, and it gave me one. I was like, nah, not doing that anymore. So, now I know 2 things that give me migraines: Vicodin and diet soda. I will avoid those things. Not too hard. Anyway, so to recap, I did enjoy the meeting. I wish I could have stayed longer. They were doing, I guess, some wet felting in the microwave. I'm not sure exactly how that works. I didn't go in and check it out because I just wanted to sit. So I sat in a circle and I knitted, and a few people talked to me, and I think I'm going to go back and check it out again when I'm not feeling cruddy. So, yeah, it was a good time. Yeah, so I'm excited. New yarny friend, new yarny group. Things are coming together. Okay. I think my oven is heated up now, so I gotta go make dinner. Hi, I'm back. for about the 4th or 5th time because I've been trying to do this and my kids keep interrupting me. Anyway. Okay. I have something important to share with you that I completely spaced on the main segment of the podcast. I have a friend who is hosting a podcast, and that podcast is the Knitted Cupcake Podcast. Lacey is the host, and I have offered a prize for her to give away. Excuse me, itchy face here. And so in order to be in the running for that prize, you need to be subscribed to her YouTube channel, and I don't know what else. So you need to go check out her podcast and subscribe to her channel because she puts out a great podcast, in my opinion. So anyway, yes, go check it out. The Knitted Cupcake Podcast. And she's also on Instagram as the.knitted.cupcake. So, if you want to win some yarn dyed by me, go see her. That's all. Finally, I think I got it. Children, I love them dearly, and I want to duct tape their mouths shut sometime. So, maybe their feet to the floor, too, because they keep running through the house. All right. Enough of my motherhood gripes, I guess. And yes, now I get to go upload this video to my computer and attach it to my nearly fully edited podcast. Woo! All right. Have a good weekend. Man, I'm spacey today. Bye. Ah, June in the Pacific Northwest. Isn't it beautiful? Don't you want to move here? Man, tomorrow's the last day of school, and my poor kids get this. Oh well. We knew about this kind of thing. We live here, after all, and have our entire lives. So, yeah, there's that. Anyway, ridiculous. Talk to you later. Hello, my name is Megan, and I am a forgetful person. Yeah, I can't even remember what I was supposed to tell you right now. I did it! I finished my podcast in under half an hour. Woohoo!
How did you do that?
How did I do that? It's called talking fast, dude.